All right.
How are we doing?
Live
Yeah.
from the shores of Mexico. Well, not really. And the shores of the rock called Great Britain. London. The Thames. It's DannyG.
London, England.
And Nacho Don. And here we go. This will be our first episode ever. I want to welcome DannyG. I'm probably getting copyright strikes all over the place right now. But who cares? Because I don't need the money. Because I got crypto. All right, baby. How you doing, Danny?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Yeah, I'm calling from London, England. Just outside London, on just outside the M25. Obviously, it's night here, as you can see through the window. It's dark, but Don's in sunny San Fran. Where are you at?
So beautiful here with all these masked people. I love them. Just walking around with masks, riding their bikes with masks. You know, just doing everything with masks.
Driving around single in a car with a mask. Oh dear.
That's it. That's it, baby. Well, let me kill the survivor right now. All right, before they come and arrest me. So, I mean, we're here to talk a little bit of crypto today. You know, I run the Nacho Research Lab, which is it's a Telegram group, and it's a place where we share a lot of very expensive publications. And Danny and I met, I guess it was about this time last year, maybe in April of last year. So we're coming up on about a year that we know each other, and that we've been associating together and talking crypto and everything. And when you came to me, you were really green, I must say.
Wet behind the ears, wet behind the ears.
But wow, I gotta say, you've come a long way, and now it's like I look forward to your participation in the group and seeing what you have to say about things and how excited you are about crypto. And maybe you can tell the people out there, exactly what got you started in crypto. Like what caught your interest? Why did you end up coming to me and saying, like, I want to learn more about crypto?
Yeah, well, as a short summary to how I got to the point of actually contacting Don was, I'm involved in the investment markets, traditional equity, and and I heard a bit about crypto here and there, and I started to ask my investment managers what it was all about, and to say that they balked was an understatement. They're sort of roll back in their chair and go, "Oh, crypto, oh, it's unregulated. Oh no, oh no." It was like that for about, I don't know, about four to 6 years, I'd say. And I'm thinking, so there's something in this, and I know the establishment, the regulators aren't there to regulate, them as in the institutions. They're there to regulate us. You know what I mean? And they lobby the regulators to get their favourable positions and so on and so forth, and therefore, and I've sort of always known that, but not known the ins and outs of it, whereas I do now, or certainly no more. So I was always been interested, and then and then we had this lockdown, didn't we? We had this lockdown. I was just about to fly to Mexico for a life-changing trip, possibly find a house to buy, and I've just sold another house, so I had some cash ready to go, and then our flights got cancelled, the lockdown happened, and I found myself just like in a daze, going for runs in the morning, just thinking, oh, what is this all about? And and one night I was sitting there on YouTube, and Tika Tawari pops up, doesn't he? With the phenomenon playbook, 5 coins to 5 million and all this business. And and I was taking some shamanic medicine at the time, which I take quite often, and it opens up your mind a bit. And and so I watched that, and then I found myself going for a run the next day, and I ended up in a farmer's field, meditating, and I just got this overwhelming spiritual intervention, which I've had on numerous times through my life. I'm very spiritual, and it just said, you got to do something with this. You got to do something. You got to do something. So I'm looking at the price of how much this subscription is, and I'm thinking, so I didn't contact my mate who's a banker. I said, listen, we go 50-50. What do you reckon? You know what I mean? He wasn't interested. He said, come back to me in a year. Let me know how you get on type thing. And I'm thinking, oh, well, okay. So I sit down with my credit card, and then I sign up to Tika's playbook. And I'd seen Don on Reddit, maybe a little bit before. It was an hour or two before, and I thought, oh, I don't know, like, you know what I mean. So then I've tried to, or did I see Don afterwards? No, I think I had seen the post, because I was trying to find out if Tika Tuari was legit, and it took me to Reddit, and then I saw the post from Don, and it said that he would share your subscription with you and that type of thing. Anyway, so I'm not sure, but I didn't go with that there and then. But I went to pay on my credit card on Tika Tuari's website, and then would you believe, you pay, and which I didn't pay because my credit card got blocked. Right, so that was the spiritual intervention again coming in there. And Tika Tuari comes up on the screen and he says, for another $2,500, you can have a lifetime subscription. And I just thought to myself, mate, this guy's just, he's a proper salesman. Anyway, so my credit card got cancelled. It didn't work. And then I thought, right, okay. So I went back onto the Reddit, and then I contacted Don, and then Don, we do a Zoom call. Don's topless in his apartment in Mexico, like all chilled out, like, and I took the chance, because and he said, you send me X amount of Bitcoin, I'll start sending you the subscriptions, and obviously found he was a lovely guy, you know what I mean, much the same as me, both flat earthers, not many of us around, and very much, my talk type of person, talk about the people that rule the world and stuff, how terrible they are, quite frankly. But so I sent over some Bitcoin, and no sooner did that arrive in his account, all the subscriptions just started pinging off me emails, bang, 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 bang. So I've got all these subscriptions to go through, and that's how I got into crypto, and the rest is history. So absolutely fantastic, and the service that Don offers, this is not a sales pitch, this is the truth. All right, what you get with the subscription and access to the Telegram group, which I believe is the silver membership, not just the bronze, but you've got all the support there, you've got trading ideas, you've got other like-minded people, you've got more experienced people. Obviously Don's very experienced, I'm quite experienced now, there's other people in the group that are beginners, and we all work together. There's more than one group. There's the main group, then you've got the beginners group, you've got the what's the the Nacho News, isn't it? So
yeah. So I mean, I it's kind of evolved, and like I've told other people, is like, it's just sort of evolved into because when I first started having a couple shares of the subscriptions to bring down the costs for us all, I said, everybody kept coming to me with questions, right? As the guy who's been in crypto for a long time, I've been in crypto since 2014, where I was
crypto OG.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I am at this point. I always consider guys like Eric Voorhees to be Roger Ver and stuff to be like the real OGs. But yeah, I mean, I was definitely early, and then I felt like I was missing out on the whole altcoin thing, because I didn't know what was going on, because I was like, I bought into that whole Bitcoin maximalist story, like, oh, I just love my Bitcoin. I know Bitcoin has made me wealthy, and I don't want to know anything else. I've heard Ethereum is a scam and all this, and I didn't really investigate it for myself, and I kind of kick myself now for not going down that road a lot sooner. But then what happened was I took the dive into the subscription, and then started to investigate the altcoins. I wanted to know what everybody else was buying, and obviously by the end of 2017, some of these things had done so many multiples of growth that I was like, Bitcoin is really nice, but these other gains that I'm missing out on could just absolutely not just change my life, but absolutely transform my life, right? So I wanted to do that. Now, unfortunately, I got into the altcoins kind of right at the height. And I paid a pretty hefty price for that, because 2018 and 2019 were really rough. I think that anybody who was in crypto at that time could definitely relate to that. So that was rough. But in that time, learned a lot of valuable lessons. of sort of like how to trade, how to hunt for value, how to separate the wheat from the chaff in all of these projects. That, I mean, I'll admit that, in some of them I got played. I think a lot of people did. You buy into these projects and you buy into these white papers and you say, wow, this sounds amazing and it's going to be the next big thing. And we're going to the moon and all that. And then you find out that it's like, man, this was little more than a cash grab by the team, to do an ICO, roll out a token, take the money, and basically run and produce very little. So, I didn't get too much into the whole ICO craze at that time, but what I did get into was, certain tokens that if I peeled back more of the layers of the onion, like I know how to do now, I wouldn't have gone so irresponsibly big into some of those projects, hoping that I was going to hit the mother lode. Because I didn't hit the mother lode, I just had a load land on me. And so, but I did survive the bear market, and came out with still chips on the table. And now we are rallying heavily here in the Nacho Research Lab, and with a lot of lessons learned that I have, that I can bring to the table. And now, now we're enjoying the bull market, which we all knew was, those of us who never gave up on crypto knew was bound to happen.
Yeah, just to clarify for any new listeners that may be new to crypto, that maybe want to join the Nacho Research Lab, what Don said, he spoke subscription. That's the Palm Beach subscription, wasn't it, that you subscribe to?
Yeah.
And the ICO is initial coin offering, is it?
Yeah, that was right. That was the initial coin offerings, which were really popularized in 2017, 2018, which is what was the main use case for Ethereum back then. And now we know Ethereum has evolved into something just amazing with DeFi. But back then, it was basically a place to permissionlessly launch your own token and raise your own money.
Yeah, yeah. And so just a quick summary on that bear market of 2018, 2019. What would you say was the catalyst for that taking place? Or
I think the market, now in hindsight, I mean, the market really, it was retail investors piling in. Bitcoin wasn't ready to go to $20,000, and so when the chart, went like this,
mm-hmm.
and in some ways it's doing that now, but now we have a black swan event and all that. I don't want to get into all the macro elements of that, but what happened then was, all of these retail people were coming in hoping to get rich on Bitcoin and on these altcoins. And like I said earlier with the ICOs, a lot of them turned out to be cash grabs. They some of them, I believe they had really good intentions. But then when they started to try to put the elements of their vision and of their white papers together, from paper onto actual product, things just started to fall apart. And it was pretty evident that their tokenomics, that their, the economic incentives within their, these protocols they were trying to develop, and these token schemes, and that they were trying to develop, just didn't work out. They just didn't work out. And so when Bitcoin started to come back down to earth, it was like a free fall for
Wow.
those other tokens, and it was scary. I mean, it was pretty frightening. And then what happened
Brutal.
Yeah, and as somebody who at that time was still fairly new to trading, and it went, once the market started to dive down, and then it would start to level out a bit, and it's like, okay, now's the time to load up, right? It's like, you got to have brass balls here. Let's bite down on the mouthpiece. Let's jump in, let's throw some more Bitcoin at this thing, because it's just bound to take off. And what happened was, it just kept going down, right? And so one of the things that I like that you hear me preach, and I think you could probably say this for me, Danny, in the room, is that, I'm fairly conservative. I'm always advocating to exercise caution in the room, and to take profits and things like that. You know, so I mean, I've got guys coming at me now like, hey, should I go all in on Luna? You know, should I sell all my Ethereum for Luna? You know, because Luna was one of our early picks, and we got in there nice and early, which was great. But you know, I still said no. You know, you should be diversified. You know, so you
Mm.
know, that's just from from those hard lessons I feel like I learned back in that bear market. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously, you know, when you've got lots of people in a group, and both Don and I was in Luna like early, wasn't we? So you've got new people coming into the group. Luna in particular is now about $8, and you know, we was in at about 30, 40 cents. So
Right.
people were coming in hearing us talk about Luna, and obviously they've made massive moves. So they're thinking, right, I want a piece of that. I don't think
Yeah.
there's any problem with getting a piece of it, but to sell everything to get that piece is not a good. Don wouldn't advocate that. I wouldn't advocate that. You know, certainly get some if you haven't got any. I mean, well, I wouldn't say certainly, but I personally would. But look at the moves. You know,
Yeah, I mean, you know, so like here we were all in here through September, and you know, if I go up here like this, you know, actually it was in before then. If I look at the KuCoin chart, so if I go back here and I look at this, we can look back and say that, you know, we were buying this back here.
it
I
was
was
around
buying
about
it.
November, December,
Yeah.
wasn't it? When we,
Yeah. I mean, I was buying it back here, right? So in
yeah,
May and whatnot. And I think you were as well. Um,
that's right. I did buy something, mate. Yeah,
we
I
were,
think we bought
we,
big bags in November, December, didn't we?
we were buying in here, and then came July, and it was like, okay, finally, yeah, we're going to take off here. Here goes Luna to the moon. And then, you know, this is a retracement. And I think what happened here is a lot of the early investors in Luna started to get out and start to say, hey, I finally got my profit on this thing.
Hmm.
My tokens were released from the pre-sale or whatever, the early investors, and then they started to bail, and then basically it dumped the price back down. But you can see here from early September 2020 until, you know, November, all the way through November, this was just sitting down here, right? So we
Just
bought,
ranging, wasn't it? Just
yeah.
ranging for a couple of months.
So we bought in here a bunch. I ended up buying a little bit more in here. And then when it pulled down here, I remember buying some at 40 some cents as well. And then it came back down here and it was at 31 cents. And this is where I was like, okay, this is it. I started to pile in on it, you know, because there was just too much good stuff going on here to deny the fact that this was going to be pretty big. And you know, that's one of the things of having people who have been around the block, people like myself and soon to be Danny as well. And when you're in a group and you can talk about all of the great things that are going on in a project, and you know, that's beyond the scope of this particular video, because you know, Terra would deserve, like, you know, 10 videos on its own. There's so much great things going on Terra Luna. But the bottom line was that because of you know, the things that we saw in this project and all of the development, I knew that this was grossly undervalued. Right now, did I know we were going to be at $8.40 today? No, but you know, this was the place right here where you'd be a fool to not be picking it up, right? And
Hmm.
so, you know, in our group, I tried to advocate for that, right? I tried to advocate, look, talk about Luna a little bit more. I try not to be like a total shill, because, you know, we don't know exactly what's going to happen. But I think, you know, Danny, you could vouch for me and say that I was a pretty strong advocate for Luna. We want to be heavy on ETH, and we want to be heavy on Luna, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's always important to do your own due diligence, but you know, there's people in the group that are, you know more about certain coins than others, and it's just about, you know, giving the indicators and saying, look, I think this is good. Maybe do some research onto it. Here's something about it. Have a look. You know, ask my advice, sure. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the individuals. Whoever, you know, these are all risky assets at the end of the day. So it's a risky asset class, and anything can happen, literally. But in saying that, you know, certain projects obviously warrant a much deeper dive. And with that being said, then maybe you can put some money on the table on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that was the big thing for me when it came to Terra Luna. Luna's the main coin, the main economic coin, the mining coin, the work token, if you will, for Terra blockchain. Is that I saw that they had plans to launch a lot of different things on top of the project, and then the main one was Anchor, which is imminent and supposed to launch at any time right now. As a matter of fact, by the time you're seeing this video, it's most likely been launched. And so this is going to be a huge thing for crypto, thing for a huge event, I think, for finance, where DeFi can meet traditional finance, and DeFi meets traditional finance, because there's a lot of traditional, just traditional savers, your mom and pop people on Main Street, who just can't find any yield anywhere in fixed income type products. And so Anchor is aiming to solve that, and it's I think it's going to be bigger than we can even imagine. So
Yeah, I think if I just mention on Anchor, from what I understand, and what the crypto is quite insular. Yeah, it takes it's quite a very steep learning curve to start getting involved. It's not steep to set up an account on an exchange and start buying coins. That's not steep. What's steep is the whole understanding of the market, how it works, price movements, and the research side of things, and obviously seed phrases, things like that, because you become your own custodian. Got with crypto, you can't rely on the bank if you put the wrong address in when you send a payment across the network. You can't phone the bank up if you send it to the wrong address. You can't phone the bank up and say, "Excuse me, I'm going to provide some ID. Here's my passport. Here's my driver license. Can you get the money back?" It doesn't work like that. So there's lots of things that you need to learn. Now with Anchor, the likes of people like Don's mum and dad, my mum and dad, the older generation that really haven't got the time, or maybe aren't wired for crypto, they need somewhere to put their savings. And
right.
if there is a stable way to hold your savings without having to know the ins and outs of crypto, i.e., you just put your savings in the savings protocol, you get 5%, 10%, whatever it is. You're getting the benefits of blockchain technology without having to know anything about it, and that is a whole new, group of people, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's incredible.
The market is just absolutely immense. And
It's
as
huge.
Do Kwon, the founder and CEO of Terra, has said, they're aiming for Anchor to be the Stripe of savings. So it's basically like any company or any small startup or any fintech company or any neobank can take 7 lines of code, plug it into their app, and say, "Here you go. Here's a way that you can make 6% or 8%." Or 10%. He mentioned double digits. We'll see what happens when it gets launched. But because they can provide this stable interest rate based on the what's at the base of it is the proof of stake protocols like Atom, Polkadot, different ones,
Solana.
Solana, exactly. And they are providing a stable interest rate, and that interest rate is what is going to be feeding the interest rate through through staking, and through borrowing, lending of the Terra stable coins, because Terra is ultimately a stable coin ecosystem. And the more of these stable coins that get minted, that means the more of Luna, this beautiful coin that is sitting at $8.30 at the moment, the more of that will get burnt. When tokens get burned, like they're proposing now with Ethereum, which probably should, which will go through in July, through with a hard fork, that creates scarcity. And scarcity is one of the things that that give money value, right? That give anything value, right? Scarcity. If you have a ton of things, it's not as valuable. If you have, if it's like a diamond and they're hard to find, it's more valuable. And so Luna is just set to become like this incredible crypto diamond, in my opinion. And that's why I haven't even sold one of them.
Yeah, well, I
matter of
actually,
fact, I bought more.
I've staked every single one of them. You know, like
Oh.
literally, I've not even got a trading bag. I've staked every single one.
Oh, it's just.
I think I left one in my wallet just for transactions. That's crazy. Who would do that with crypto? You'd normally want to.
I mean,
look,
just look at this chart, right? Like, look at this chart. I mean, this has been, it's up 2,900%, right? And then we have this formation here basically flagging out, and we're about to go another leg. I mean, how far can this leg go? I mean, this is absolutely incredible.
John, but when we had this little bit of a difficult period over the last few weeks of the retracement and the correction, Luna held up pretty well, didn't it?
Oh, it's held up amazingly. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I mean, even look at it versus Bitcoin. So this is a chart versus Bitcoin, and you can see how this thing is performed. Again, this is where we're accumulating, right? This is where we're accumulating. This is what you want to do, and this is why you want to get with a group. You don't want to chase people on Twitter who are telling you to, load up the bags right here. Hey, I think this coin could be an easily $100 coin, a $500 coin. Who knows? Sky is the limit with this project and this team. Hats off to these guys. Hats off to this guy. Oh no, it's the wrong guy. This is the guy with all the papers. This guy has all the papers, right? Look at all those papers he has there. That is what's called peer review. And once they get through all of those in another 20 years, they might actually get an application that works on top of Cardano. Okay. But in the meantime,
all those are based on a test net. Is that right?
Yeah. In the meantime, this is my guy right here. This is my guy. Look at this guy.
This is our guy, Don. This is our guy, bro.
This is our guy. This is our guy, Do Kwon. We're gonna. He's in the Forbes under 30. So I don't know the top under 30 promising geniuses out there, whatever.
And not only that, when you listen to Do Kwon speak, he's just, he's got humility, he's got intelligence, and the way he talks about his projects is just, the proactiveness of these people is absolutely incredible.
Well, he's got a great sense of humor. He's got, you could tell he's a well-rounded person. That's something that I kind of look for in like a founder, right? When you're like, again, peeling back the layers of the onion, one of those layers is, who founded this thing and where are they taking it, right? What kind of leadership qualities do they have? Are they able to motivate the people that are working for them? Are they able to keep them happy, right? These are things I don't really know, but these are the things that you try to glean from when you're observing somebody and the way that they speak, the way they interact on Twitter and stuff like that. And I think he's got a great mixture of braggadocio, bravado, intelligence, leadership, and all of these things for a young guy. That's really impressive. And this guy could be leading some mega startup in the traditional world or traditional finance, and here he is in crypto, creating things like the Mirror protocol. And just handing that to the community, right? That's basically what Terra did. They didn't take any tokens for themselves, and they just gave
fair launch. They call it, Don, don't they?
That's called a fair launch, right? So, and that creates more use for the Terra stable coins, which creates more burn for Luna, which makes Luna more valuable, and on it goes. With the more stuff that they build on top of this blockchain, I mean, where are we going with this? I mean, my only regret right now in life is that I didn't buy more Luna. I mean, and I bought a lot of it. Okay.
Yeah.
I bought a lot of it, as you know. So
as have I, but that's one of my regrets as well. And I've recently, even at the prices now today, I've continued to load my bags. So I'm packed. I'm ready to go. I still think 750 was a good price given
I think you're right. I
how
think
good
you're
this
right.
project is. But like Don said, you know, the sky is the limit on this. Is I've you know, I'm only a year into crypto, but there is nothing that I've read up on that gives me the butterflies in my tummy. That potentially. The other day, I was looking at mansions on the beach in Mexico, and for the first time, I thought to myself, you know what, I might be able to afford one of those in the near future, and that all that possibility is due to Luna, definitely,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and hard work, of
So
course.
thank you, Doe. Thank you. Thank you, everybody who's working on Terra. Thank you, community. You know, it's just been a fun ride so far. And, you know, I haven't had this much fun in crypto since I was waking up, you know, in late 2017 and looking at my phone every day, and like Bitcoin was up another $2,000, or, you know, Bitcoin was up another $500
Yeah,
on the
I'm
day.
the
And I was
same.
just like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, this is just absolutely amazing. And so this is now my second, sort of my second amazing play, right? And these are the kind of moves that you want to capture in
Yeah.
crypto. And what I love about this one is this one doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon, you know.
No.
And
And like what we mentioned just previously was that when everything else was retracing pretty heavily, Luna, you know, it lost a couple of dollars. You know, it was down a couple of dollars. It wasn't. It didn't tank. It was ready to go again.
right,
Yeah, it was
right.
just a consolidation period, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, and so in the Nacho Research Lab, we talk a little bit charts. You know, it's not a trading room per se, but we have a bunch of traders in there. You know, we talk about you know, a lot of fundamental stuff. We talk a lot of, you know, basics. We try to help people, and it's more about the community. But you know, this is just an example of something I saw. Look at this Bitcoin. This, I mean, this classic Head and Shoulders. You know, the breakout, and it's like, man, where are we going? Where are we going from here? You know, it's just like, it looks like it could just be getting started. You know, I mean, this thing.
Just to add something there, Don, just for the people listening, that it's just breached its all-time high today, isn't it, Luna?
Yeah, yeah, I believe so. I mean, it's doing a little bit of a pullback at the moment, but you know, that's just natural. It's got to, the asset's got to breathe on its way up, you know, because you know, you need air to just keep going up, to
To
keep
keep the
going up,
flow.
to keep it going, to rise to new heights, baby. I love it.
Voila.
I love it. I love it. So anyway, enough shilling the Luna. There's so many
Yeah.
great resources out there. There's the Terabytes podcast, very professional podcast where you can learn so much about the ecosystem. You can get into the Nacho Research Lab. There'll be an email below if you want to contact and learn how to get in. Learn how to get in on assets when they're you know, 30 cents like this. Okay. I mean, this is what we're doing. We you know, I like to look at
Buy
myself
low,
as,
sell high.
yeah, I mean, I'd like to look at myself as a value hunter, right? And so this was a no-brainer for me back then, when we were accumulating this in the 30-cent range. And
This
it's
is
just,
this is the podcast. What the podcast looks like. Terabytes.
yeah, yeah, there you go.
Terabytes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Danny, maybe we should start wrapping this up. But like, if you were, and again, this isn't we're doing this for fun, right? We're already making so much money. We don't need a YouTube channel. I don't intend to monetize this or anything like that. But the Nacho Research Lab, what have you gotten out of it so far, and why would you encourage anyone else to get involved with us?
Well, I'll just start from a backwards perspective, and that was earlier. I deleted my Telegram by mistake. Right now, the feelings that I had to because I didn't have access to the Nacho Research Lab and the other groups was worrying. Honestly, to be honest, it was worrying because the support that we've got within that group, whether you dip in and out, whether you just look at the news, you know, Nacho News, because it's quite important for the people that, you know, aren't engaged all the time in the main group to not miss anything. So that's something new that Don's brought in, which I personally think is fantastic, because anything really important can go on the news.
And just
So
to
you finish,
clarify, that's a read only channel where I
yeah,
sort of try to curate the best conversations and the stuff that I'm finding and others are finding around the web about crypto. So and so that you, at the end of a long day, you're not in the chat chatting it up like like a retired guy like me who just talks about Luna all day and crypto all day, but you can actually go at the end of your day of work, you can get caught up in a more succinct manner, in a more curated manner, and read through the important stuff. And then we have a noob room, right? We have a noob room where you can get the help you need about ledger wallets, about how to buy things on an exchange, about where you can, about crypto procedures and stuff like that. If you're a little too intimidated to talk in the main room. So we have 3 rooms. There's a main chat, of course, where, anything goes. And we, the idea is to turn this into like a sort of mind share, like a research group. I mean, I started it almost as a joke, the Nacho Research Lab, but I mean, we're going to probably outperform most hedge funds and stuff over time, like without a problem. I mean, it's pretty much a given.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite family, it's like a family feel. People support each other there. I take the odd private message and have a chat with people. I've taken a few messages today. I'm happy to give my opinion on something, but that's all it is, a little bit of advice here and there. Obviously Don's available in the nude room and the main room, and it's a very, very good setup. I think it's it's been excellent for me. When I first started with Don, it didn't exist, because it was in, and it's been in its infancy early on, but it's just changed the game for me. It's changed the game to have, because even if Don's not around, there's other people within the group that, I mean, Don's around all the time. He's retired, but let's just say he's sleeping because we've got different time zones. I chat with some of the more experienced people and some of the people that aren't so as much experienced, and it's just a little family vibe. Like, we're all virtually all truthers, so we're all interested in the truth, and I mean the real truth. Like,
and that's
not the
important too.
bollocks.
Like, if you're a statist, if you're somebody who walks around like 18 hours a day with a face mask on, you're not going to fit in here. We just, you got to get certain things straight. You got to learn what's going on. We don't want you really in the room. You're not going to like us very much.
Yeah, it's not a match. If you think water bends, then there's probably another thing. The spinning ball turn out.
You want to believe you're a monkey living on a spinning water ball. You can do that. Just don't try to pimp that in front of me.
Yeah, don't mention it in the group. We don't really talk flat Earth in the group.
No, we don't. We don't talk cosmology. We don't talk cosmology. I have a separate group for that, but we do talk. I think the important thing for me is that there are no statists in the group. People that are anxious to bow their knee to any government mandate. That to me is the kind of person that I just wouldn't want in the group. You could believe what you want about quote unquote science and, vaccines, even vaccines. That's a real sketchy area, right? But, those are subjects that we don't really talk about in the group. Once in a while they come up because, like you said, we're like family there,
Yeah.
And one thing that I'm so happy and so proud about, and just like, thank God every day for the way things have worked out, is the collection of people. Like, when I meet you guys aren't customers. You guys are family to me, like, and I can honestly say that because we don't just have crypto and crypto profits in common now. We have ideology in common. We have a lot more important stuff, than money in common, although we're going to have a lot of money too.
Let's face it, we're all collectively supporting each other to become more financially secure, because right. this matrix that we're in, that obviously most in the group believe it is a matrix that we live in, and that is that at the end of the day they've got us as slaves, and we are seeking to step out of that paradigm into our sovereignty, but financially, because we're all sovereign anyway spiritually. But financially, we're looking for that sovereignty. We're looking like we don't need to rely on a company or an institution to put that money in our bank accounts. We are going to create that ourselves. We are creating that. And I mean, real wealth, wealth where we can do anything that we want to do, and not be stuck in one place in the world 9 to 5. I mean, what sort of life is that? That's it's crazy. So
Right.
that we're all trying to support each other to achieve that. It's not about, well, obviously great wealth is good, but it's about financial security and financial freedom. That's the key.
Yeah, and that's beautifully said. And that's one thing I can't do is promise that you're going to get rich by coming in with us or anything like that. But I think that the principles that we're all aiming for, and we're looking out for each other, right? The proverb that says iron sharpens iron. That was one of my
Mm.
reasons for starting the Telegram group. If we can get like-minded people together where we're bouncing ideas off each other, being critical of each other at times, and in each other's ideas, and if you have a willingness to do that, if we don't all have to have the same beliefs and everything. We have Christians and Muslims and all different types in the group, but I think that one thing we have in common is we I think in general, and this might sound like really cliche, but I mean, we just have really good people in the group. I don't know, it just happened that way, and so I am
Yeah.
careful who I let into the group. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not about the money. It's about having the right people in there. So you
I
will have to
think,
pass a little bit of a screening with me to get in, for sure.
yeah, and with that screening we've done, I mean, the people that find Don or find the group, find us, because we're a family. It's a collective. You know, really, those people like myself and lots of others in the group, or all the people in the group, they're looking to do something different, because if we all just continue to do the same thing, we get the same results. So we got to do something different, and that means seeking out and taking a chance. Right? This is a high risk asset class. You're taking a chance, and to take that chance, you may get rewarded, and that's what it's all about. So it's, I know people that I've offered to join the NRL, and they're just not wired for it. They're not prepared to take the risk. It's not. They prefer to live in a comfort zone. But if you're getting 0.01% in a bank account, then the risk is to not take the risk, in my opinion, because your money is depleted, and that's what I began to understand.
Yeah, and I have close friends and family in my life who are not who've been invited, who just don't, they just don't get it, or they just don't think they have the time for it, or whatever. Maybe they don't have
Well,
the
they're not
energy.
wired, not wired for it.
Well, that's it, right? I think Tika said it in one of his latest
Yeah,
videos, and I always
very
like to.
poignant, very poignant.
He said that just there's a lot of people out there that just aren't wired for this stuff. The fact that there is risk involved, the fact that
Learning.
volatile assets, and once in a while I have somebody come in the group and they buy something and it goes up and they're all happy, and then it goes back down and they're like, what's going on here? What's going on here? I don't know if you remember that guy Damon I had to kick out, and he was just like, what the fuck is going on here? This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. I'm down 40% today. This is fucking. I was like, dude, you are just not. You gotta chill, man.
You're in the wrong group, bro.
You are not going to work out here, man. If you're going to sit here crying, it's just not going to work. But
I mean, and that's important to note, isn't it? Some of these assets, they can be down 40% in a day. You can wake up and they're down. But we're looking over the and we're looking over the long term more with the projects that we're looking at. We're not looking to scalp in and out. We're looking for life-changing gains that are going to, these projects are taking time to develop, and create the value, and therefore, we're sitting on them.
All right. I think that's a good spot to end it up. We're going to try to do this once in a while, and put out a video here or there on this channel, and maybe we'll create a new one or something. So look for Nacho and Danny talking about this stuff. We're going to be talking about crypto projects, talking about freedom stuff, some truther stuff. Of course, that gets mixed in because that's part of who we are, right?
Yeah.
Seeking the truth always, and trying to love one another, right? Love on our fellow man, spreading information, knowledge, and this is this could be a good financial avenue for you to break free from the central bank Ponzi scheme. I call it the satanic Babylonian monetary system, and now come into something that is regulated by mathematics, by blockchain, by immutable transactions on a blockchain,
But decentralized
decentralized, immutable, all these wonderful buzzwords, but that are very important, right? Decentralized finance is amazing. You really owe it to yourself to get in and start learning. Get in and start learning. Get in with people who are going to help you along. Okay. And so I think that's what I'm here to do. I know that's what Danny's here to do. And you're helping me a lot in the group now. And I appreciate that, Danny.
Thank you very much.
I think we have a great future ahead of us. This is not like, let's just get rich this year. This is going to go on into the future.
This is long term, mid to long term.
And we don't have to go chasing every single project that's going up 20%. And I always tell everybody, we don't chase. We're going to find the diamonds in the rough, and then we're going to build our wealth over time. So,
I mean, it's important to note, because most people would be a little bit, if they wasn't experienced in trading or anything like that, would find it a bit intimidating. But we're not seeking to be day traders in and out every day. Right. We're looking for the gems. We're looking for the diamonds in the rough, such as Luna, where at the right price we're putting some money in. We're watching it grow. We might add to our positions as we get more confident in the project. So we're looking for handfuls of those. And obviously you've got the Tika Tawari Palm Beach subscription, which there's some good picks in there, obviously. But we
scrutinize those picks.
Yeah, we scrutinize those,
and we tear it apart a little bit and say, do we want to buy this?
I mean, I've bought some dogs just without even looking into it from Tika, and and there's a couple of those that are down, but then there's lots of them that are up as well, more that are up than down. But this is it. We're sort of we're having to seek our way through, and do our own due diligence, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you want to get involved and you want to have an interview with me, feel free to reply. There's an email down there, bitcoin.nacho@gmail, and we will get you up and running. And I think I'm a pretty easy guy to talk to. Let's keep doing this. Looking forward to the next one, Danny. It was fun.
Yeah.
And we'll see you all next time. Nacho out. Danny, you want to say any closing remark?
No, that's it. Thanks, Don. I enjoyed that, and I look forward to meeting new people in the group if this video reaches you. But just remember one thing: we're all sovereign human beings. We've all got the ability to think outside the box, and to stay in a comfort zone is going backwards, because people are moving forwards around you, and they're taking the chances. So to stay in that comfort zone is actually not to stay put in a comfort zone; it's to actually digress, go backwards. So it's time to make the moves, people. Let's get involved, because we're not getting nothing in bank accounts. It's time to take some risks and try and get some rewards.
All right, that's it. That'll close it out. Well said. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
See you later. Ta-ra.